There you go, Lakala Park. That actually means swampy place. Do you know how I know that? It says on the back, Lakala, Aboriginal word for swampy. Good morning, guys. Whoa, I'm out fishing. Awesome. Right, something a little bit different. This might not appeal to all of you, but it's mainly directed towards the families with the little kiddies. And also, you know, you die-hard coarse fishermen. Fishing in here might bring back a few memories, because I still love my coarse fishing. But yeah, I'm at a place called Lakala, just situated in Port Elliot. Just as you enter Port Elliot, you know, just out of Victor Harbour, you chuck a right-hand turn and these ponds are directly on the left. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. You could pull in here with the family, bring a blanket, picnic, you know, and sit down here on the grass, have a feed, have a run around with the kids, and you might want to have a fish in here with the kids, because there's a lot of fish in here. You know, like fishing, you have to be patient sometimes, but you've got a good chance of catching a fish in here, that's for sure. There's a lot of small carp in here, common carp and lots of crusion carp. Walk across this bridge. I'm going to actually fish down there. Nice little spot. Yeah, over here, look at this grassland here. It's pretty good, isn't it? It's awesome. Over here we've got a park. So your real little ones might want to have a play on that. Nice bit of play equipment for the kids. For little ones, they'll enjoy that. Yeah, it's very nice. Over there we've got a toilet block. There's a gazebo over there as well, where you can cook a barbecue. Another little one over there. Yeah, lots of room to run around. And like I said, have a fish. So let's do the main part for me and have a fish. Okay, well, I'm all set up. I got my float rod. I've had this since I was 14 years old. It's a 12-foot float rod for coarse fishing. I brought it back from England. What I'm using is, I got my 12-foot float rod, fishing with a float, and the bait I'm using is, I got some worms here. Just a few worms. There you go. Got a bit of bread. Very handy, the old carp love the bread. Probably the number one bait. And I got some maggots. Maggots are very good freshwater bait. And I got a little bit of burley, a little bit of breadcrumbs. I've added a little bit of water. It's quite firm, so it goes straight to the bottom. Now in this lake there's a lot of ducks, so when I throw a little bit of this burley in, the ducks are going to see the burley. So you got to be very careful. You know, the ducks will come over because they're used to getting fed by people. So you got to remember that the ducks live here. This is their home. So you got to respect the ducks. And if they're swimming around in front of you, maybe it's good to bring your fishing line in, because you don't want to tangle up the ducks. So that'd be bad. So yeah, bit of respect for the locals who live here. Alright, I'm going to throw a little bit of this in and I'll show you my rig. I'm not going to throw it far. Here comes a few ducks. Here comes the ducks. So while I'm showing you my float, they can see there's nothing to eat and they'll go away. Okay, here's my float. Got a float here fixed at the bottom. You can buy these from tackle shops. Either side of the float I've got a piece of split shot. Now I can adjust that split shot, it's not clamped too tight on my line. It's only 4-pound line, you don't need any more than 4. You can use 6 or 10, but you'll find the lighter your line and medium taper rod, a soft rod, the more fun you'll have. Heavier the line and it'll kill the fun. I've got another split shot here below the float as well. So there's 3 split shot there. They will sink the float just down to here. So I can see plenty of the tip. And I'm using a size 12 hook. Just a small hook. Catch a big fish on a small hook. It's hard to catch a little fish with a big hook, but it's possible. Okay, so what I'm going to do is find out how deep the water is. I have fished in here before, actually with the grandkids, and we had a ball. Where have I put my little sinker? Okay, right, I've got this little sinker. It's got like a swivel in it and it's got a hole at the bottom. It's not a proper plumb sinker. Proper plumb sinkers have a cork on the bottom what you can stick the hook into. But this will be okay. Yeah, I can put the hook through the eye of that sinker hole. Right, and then I can just put the point into that hole at the bottom of the sinker. Alright, that won't come off. Right, so that sinker's going to sink the float. If the water's deeper than that, which it might not be, that float will go under with the weight of that sinker. So let's find out. Oh, it didn't go under, so that's very shallow. So I'll move the float down a little bit. Make it a bit shallower. At that deep, move that bottom sinker down a bit more. Okay. See if the float goes under this time. It's a bit deeper than that, so I'll move the float back up a little bit. Right there. Okay. Down a little touch, because I want that bait just sitting off the bottom. And I'm always putting it into the same area. Perfect. Right. Now we can start fishing. Take the sinker off. My pocket. I'll start off with a piece of bread. I'll start off with a maggot. Maggots. Now I can clip them both on the bottom. I'll just from the fat end, I'll just slide it on there like a worm a little bit. Okay, I got that on there. The next one I'll just clip it in very finely in the end. There you go. Nice little bait. Well, let's cast him out and start fishing. And I've got a seat to sit on. Here's a bite. There we go. This little crusion carp. A lovely little fish, isn't he? Hold still, mate. Hold still for the camera. There you go. They haven't got barbels on their lips like normal carp. Yeah, crusion carp. He enjoyed their maggots, and they've got a very rounded tail and a very thick set little body. Okay, let's see if we can get another one. He was hooked good. There you go. Lovely. Okay, now I showed you how I put the maggots on. This time we use a piece of bread. So I get my slice of bread and I take out just a little piece. I won't need all of that. I'll break that in half because it's only a small hook. But lie the hook in there, on there like a sandwich, and just fold the bread over around the shank of the hook, and only squeeze the bread around the shank of the hook. See? Leave the end of it nice and fluffy. So then you'll get a good hook up. It's not, if you dough it on there too hard, it doesn't work as well as like that. So a little bit fatter, liftable. This little guy, beautiful looking fish. How fat he is. Didn't take long, did it? Yes, so there's one on bread. He's a chunky little fish. Well, his tail's a little bit different as well. Now these are an introduced species. You're not really supposed to throw them back. You can get a heavy fine if you get caught throwing them back. So be careful. Alright, let's see if we can catch one on a worm. Alright, only need a little piece of worm. Just clip him on there. We'll thread him on a little bit. There we go. Hopefully that won't be too big, but it should be okay. There we go. One on the worm. This one's a regular common carp. Well, yeah, you can see the barbels on his lips. Here the crusion carp hasn't got them barbels. And they got quite red fins as well. But yeah, that's a common carp. And he took the worm. And he swallowed the worm. So that came out easy enough. Lovely little fish. Try a bit more bread. There are some big ones in here, but lots of little ones. Great for the kids. Yeah, it's a beautiful place, very relaxing. If you're an ornithologist, you know, a bird watcher, the bird life around here is wonderful. Very relaxing. There's another nice little common. Alright, we've caught a couple in this pond, so let's go and have a look in the other pond. So here we are in the other pond. Right, I've got this little rod here. Got it rigged up with a little running sinker and the number 8's hook. Oh, we missed him. We missed that one. The float went right under the end. Now there's a bit of wind blowing, so when your float's fixed at the bottom like that and you wind, your float will actually go under. So when it's windy, you should cast out a bit further than where you want your float. Put the end of your rod under the water and wind your float back towards you. Doing that will sink your nylon line. If you're using braid and it floats, it won't work, but have the end of your rod go under the water, the tip of your rod under the water by setting that on your rod rest. Yeah, put the end of your rod under the water and wind your line, wind your float back towards your fishing spot and sink your line, and that way the wind won't catch your line and move your float all the time. So I'll do that. The end of my rod's touching the water. I'll cast out farther than my spot. Put my rod tip under the water. And now my line is sunk below the surface and the wind won't catch it. Okay. A little one. That didn't take long. That fat little guy's like a little bullet. Lovely looking fish. Hook nice. Still fishing about, I don't know, nearly 2 foot deep. Yeah. Let's catch another one. I know they're only carp, but they're good fun. I love it. I love catching anything. Leave it fluffy around the end of the hook. Beautiful. That was a bit bigger. Nice fish. he's caught on the dorsal fin, that's why he's going so hard. He'd be hooked in the mouth, but the line's caught on the dorsal fin. If I had a landing net, that'd be handy. Well, that's why he was so hard to land. Hooked him right in the dorsal fin. Wow. There you go. So it's a nice little pond, this one as well. So there you go, one more common.